Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 783, and a short intro. As you can see, the little green glow. This is Air 3S that I was filming with and adding some short clips on recent days, and I'll be talking about it from time to time. But as you can see, currently I'm with the summer in Rosnaula and just about to record the update for today. So as you can see, it didn't work out very well to record the episode on the spot at Rosnaula. It started very well, but I got some people and other distractions happening around me, and eventually I didn't have a full couple of minutes to sit down and record. So I'm finishing it up at home. And as you could see, DJI Air 3S, the new drone, is quite sizable. It is definitely much bigger than DJI Neo, and having Neo as the first drone, obviously the Air 3S looks huge. But even though it's an, I would say, intermediate drone, or I would say amateur advanced level of drone from a perspective of people that operate drones for a long time and on a professional level, this is more than professional to me. Even knowing the regulations and going through the exam and being registered as a UAS, which means basically unmanned aircraft systems operator, so UAO in kind of technically, but UAS is basically any vehicle or any system that is an unmanned aircraft, basically. And in EU and European Union, you need to register and be a recorded and official person or operator that is basically on the register, not only on the European level, but also on the particular level nationally. So whether you're a resident in particular place or you do commercial operations as a company or as a business, wherever your primary operations or residence is, you need to be registered with that country authority. And in my case, it's Irish Aviation Authority. I'm a registered pilot and operator in open category A1 and A3. And I have my own ID that I've added to the drone within its system, so it's broadcasting my registration ID whenever it flies, like any aircraft, like helicopter or plane. But on top of that, I need to physically add a label with my registration number physically on the drone, visible, so when it is on Earth in a state of not flying, anyone should be able to inspect my ID. That's why it needs to be visible on the outside of the drone. And in special cases, the label might be in the battery compartment if there's no suitable place on the drone. So that's still due to be made, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it before we fly to Tenerife. I still don't know which drone we will take. For sure we will take DJI Neo because it's small, lightweight, and technically it does require registration because it's not a toy. and it has a means to record people, which is a camera. So that's the requirement to register even the lightweight drones. But again, I'm registered. I have those IDs uploaded into my devices, so they are broadcasting it. I just need to attach some form of identification from the ground when it's not flying. So that was enough about drones. You saw that. I'll just quickly update you about today's post and yesterday's journaling, or yesterday's events. So today's post is another dig out or fossil from the past. Well, fossil is by default from the past, so I made a redundant thing to say that. But that fossil is a bit later fossil than the last one from yesterday, which was a post tag out from day 300 something. This one is from day 550ish, around that area, or that time when we were in Gran Canaria. And I will just quickly say something about it because I wrote enough in that post. It's all about Barraquito or zaperoco. It depends on how it is named or spelled, and basically it's a beverage very specific to Canary Islands, and that's where its origin is. It's type of coffee, so it's a layered condensed milk espresso coffee, some liquor, it might be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and then sometimes it's the frothed milk is added, then cinnamon or lemon rind as a garnish as well. And basically it's served in the transparent glasses to show that layered structure. So it needs to be poured very slowly to make sure that those elements are not mixing together. So it's a bit of a different type of latte or other coffee version, but it's very specific to Tenerife, Gran Canaria, and other areas. And I didn't find any super reliable source because I don't think it's possible to really pin it properly. But Barraquito is basically a version without alcohol, so the liquor is like a vanilla liquor or vanilla syrup, pretty much, not the liquor, because I think by default liquor is alcoholic beverage. And zaperoco or zaperoco is basically the one with the actual alcoholic element to it, so with the liquor. And liquors are used differently, so there, in some cases they are just vanilla liquors, sometimes they are herbal liquors, or even rum is being added as that alcoholic layer to give it a kick. I discovered that by pure accident in Gran Canaria, and I loved it. If you don't like sweet coffees, then obviously that might not be your thing, but once I discovered it, about halfway, I was always taking it wherever I could and whenever I could. And I'm not going to miss on it on Tenerife, that we are flying to on Tuesday. So more about it in the blog post at bluntforcehealing.com. And let me just quickly tell you what happened on Friday. Friday started pretty usual. We went to drop Julian at school, and then instead of going for a walk, we just drove all the way to Letterkenny because Elizabeth wanted to spend some time without pressure and browse through, different clothes in TK Maxx, because sometimes you can find real gems and for a decent price. So unfortunately she didn't find anything worth her time. In the meantime, I was doing my stuff. I was looking for something for Julian in Smith's. It's a toy store, but it also has a lot of kind of, video game related stuff. So I wanted to see if I can get my hands on a new Xbox gamepad with a charger, but unfortunately it wasn't in stock, and I don't want to pay separately for those two things. I want that combo because it's a good value for money. So I'll order it from Tenerife just before we will be coming back, and once we come back we'll drive to Letterkenny to pick it up. Then I went to Woody's. It's a DIY store, so basically a hardware store. I wanted to look for rubbing alcohol and some compressed air, but I found WD-40 specialized degreaser and air. So it's something that it's fast drying, it doesn't leave any residue, and it quickly removes dirt, residue, dust, or things like that. So it's kind of like rubbing alcohol and compressed air combined plus something. And why I bought it is because I want to use it to try and eliminate the drift from the sticks in Julian's gamepads, because it might be just dirt or collected grease from fat that we release naturally from our bodies, some dust, etc. I found that some people that are fixing gamepads, they found that most of them were just needing a cleanup and did not require any replacement of the parts or anything like that. So that was my reason. And I went to Costa Coffee and got a very mediocre coffee plus terrible pastry. So I don't want to remember too much about it. I said that, it's gone from my head. And later on we came back home. I preheated the sauna, got some grocery shopping and bought some wood, picked Julian from school, made him some food, and Julian and Elizabeth went on foot to the barber so Julian could get his haircut while I deployed the sauna to the beach for the evening. And to be honest, it was ultra quiet. We had 0 customers yesterday, which is weird, but those days happen. Today it was much better, but about it I will be talking tomorrow. And that was pretty much it. It's a very tense day tomorrow, and then preparations for the trip. So let me just get myself shaved and get ready for tomorrow, because there's some interview happening tomorrow as well, and I need to be very early at the beach for the sessions, because we have a group of runners coming early for a private sauna session. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Stay tuned and see you again tomorrow.